All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. I've got some interesting stories for you guys today, so let's get right into it. So the first story I want to talk about here is Hunter Labrada and the industry reaction to Hunter Labrada. Specifically, Dennis James and Flex Wheeler, they did an Instagram Live together reacting to the recent photos of Hunter Labrada. And on screen right now, I have the most recent physique pictures that Hunter has posted going into the Tampa Pro this coming weekend. So I've mentioned this many times before, but this is Hunter's pro debut, his first ever pro show. And look how he's looking. I mean, let's keep it real. He looks phenomenal. He looks fantastic. His conditioning looks good. He's dense. He's got a ton of size. He's really complete. He doesn't have a gut. He's very symmetrical. His father is Lee Labrada, so you know his posing is going to be on point. This guy is the complete package. Now, what I wanted to talk about here is when Flex Wheeler and Dennis James were talking about Hunter, obviously they were very complimentary. They were very impressed of how he's looking. But one thing that I thought stood out to me was when they were talking about the Olympia. So assume that Hunter wins the Tampa Pro and he qualifies for the Olympia. If you win the Tampa Pro, you're going to the Olympia. He lives in the United States. So one thing that Dennis and Flex mentioned, or Dennis specifically mentioned, was, look, the travel restrictions that are in place right now, he thinks they're still going to be in place during the Olympia. And that's what I think is going to happen as well. Meaning, if you're a bodybuilder and you want to compete at the Olympia, but you don't live in the United States, how are you going to get here? How are you going to do it? How are you going to compete? You got to think. Big Ramy, Hadi Chupin, Rolly Winkler, William Bonac. These guys are international. These guys cannot be at the Olympia if these travel restrictions are in place. So, an American bodybuilder like Hunter Labrada, he wins his first pro show, his pro debut, and goes straight to the Olympia, which isn't that far-fetched. Because, look, Ian Vier is the main threat to Hunter Labrada at this Tampa Pro. Other than that, I see this as an easy win for Hunter. I think his physique is that good that based on the other names on this list, this should be Hunter's show to win. Now, if Ian shows up, and he lives in Canada, so there is a travel restriction there, if Ian is able to make it to Tampa, I think he could be a real threat to Hunter. But if he doesn't make it, this is basically a straight route for Hunter to the Olympia stage. So the point that Dennis made is Hunter could be top 4, top 5 at his first Olympia ever, and that first Olympia only being his second pro show ever. And that's a very real possibility if you think about all the factors that go into it. Like I said, if you don't have Rolly, Ramy, Hadi, Bonac, you're not going to have Phil Heath, you're not going to have Kai Green. Who is going to be in that top 6? I can only think of Brandon, Dexter, Flex Lewis, Cedric McMillan. I mean, these are the guys that come to mind that might be top 6 guys. And I think Hunter would be in the top 6 if he makes it to the Olympia. So I thought that was a very good observation by Dennis and something I didn't think about because, like I said, if Hunter does win this show, first pro show ever, qualified for the Olympia, straight to the Olympia, he could be top 6 at his first Olympia ever, assuming these different things happen. Now, if the travel restrictions are lifted, I think it would be very unlikely that Hunter would crack a top 6 where you do have Rolly Winkler, Hadi Chupin, William Bonac, Big Ramy. Suppose Sean Roden or Phil Heath does jump in it. I think that would make it a lot more unlikely, but the likelihood is you're not going to see Sean Roden. You're not going to see Phil Heath. You're not going to see Kai Green. These travel restrictions probably going to be in place. Bonac, Ramy, Rolly, Hadi, probably not going to be there. So things are shaping up to look really good for Hunter Labrada, and I think, I'm really excited to see this pro debut. He's the main reason why I'm actually going to buy the pay-per-view to watch the Tampa Pro, is I want to see Hunter's pro debut live. And I'm not going to be there in person, but I want to see it when it happens, and that's why I'm going to be paying and I'm going to be watching that show. All right, so speaking of the Tampa Pro, we do have an official update from Patrick Moore. He has officially said that he is out. We've had some other people saying that he might be out. He was saying, based on my conversation with him last night, he was still considering it, but he's finally put up an official post saying he is not doing the Tampa Pro and he's going to wait for a show down the line so he can be 100%. He feels like he would be 80% at Tampa. So I'm hoping, for Patrick's sake, that none of these other shows get canceled, because the next 2 shows that I can think of, New York Pro and Cali Pro, those 2 states are not doing too well right now. So I think there's a real possibility some of these shows in the future might get canceled, and hopefully that doesn't screw up Patrick's journey to the Olympia stage because he's not yet qualified. So Patrick says, okay, guys, I really appreciate all the messages and comments encouraging me to do the Tampa show, and honestly, I want to be back on stage as much as you guys would like to see me up there. But at this time, only being 75 to 80%, it would be an injustice to myself, my sponsor, Yamamoto Nutrition, and all you guys that support me to not be 100%. With the Arnold showing not being what I wanted, I have to commit myself to being 100% next time I'm up there. Unfortunately, that means no contest just yet. There's still more work to be done here, so hopefully the other contests happen. If not, we just keep working and prepare for what's next. Thank you guys again for the support, and we will be back soon and better. So I respect that decision. I mean, if he doesn't feel he's going to be 100%, he doesn't feel he's going to be as dangerous. And let's be honest, Hunter Labrada is looking insane right now. And if you compare the conditioning, I think Hunter actually is significantly ahead of where Patrick Moore is at, just based on what we've seen from Patrick so far. So I respect that. But like I said, I hope for Patrick's sake these other shows still happen, because who knows what could happen in the next few weeks, next few months. Everything is changing so fast. I think there's a very real possibility that a lot of these shows get canceled. New York and California specifically, I've got my eyes on those two. I think there is a very real possibility of one or both of those shows getting canceled. Now, next up in the news, more strict curl news. I'm kind of enjoying this whole strict curl wave, to be honest with you guys. Leonidas Arkona, 22-year-old powerlifting phenom, posted a new strict curl video of 97.5 kilograms, which apparently, according to him, is a new German record. And that is roughly 215 pounds. Again, the strict curl world record is 113 kilograms, 249 pounds. You've got a lot of guys coming in striking distance of that record, and I think you're going to see it fall soon. And I think this popularity of strict curl is a very, very cool and interesting thing. Speaking of which, I also came across another video. Now, this Leonidas video was today, so this is brand new news. This other video was from a month ago. So this guy, Wyatt Lozano, apparently a month ago had a official come out to have him strict curl 227 pounds, which apparently is the unofficial drug-tested world record for the strict curl 227. I watched the video. I didn't think the form was crazy strict, and it probably wouldn't have been a good lift in a meet, but 227, again, within almost 20 pounds of the world record. A lot of guys right now gunning for that record, and I think before 2020 is over, honestly, we're going to see it get challenged and probably fall. And I think a large part of that is due to Larry Wheels, and hopefully I'm playing a part in that as well. So right now, what I want you guys to do is go on Instagram, record your best strict curl video, tag me in it on your story, at Nick Strength Power, and I'll repost every single one that I get tagged in. Let's make this a movement. And also, if there's any gym equipment companies out there that make or sell a strict curl platform, I'm looking for one. I can't even find one to buy online, but if anyone knows where to get one or a company that can make one for me, please let me know, or please get them in touch with me, because I want a strict curl platform to start filming strict curl videos in my home gym. Now, next up in the news, Nick Walker posting a physique update today, looking absolutely freaking insane. I mean, this dude, talk about a mass monster, man. Can you guys think of anybody off the top of your head that's a more impressive, freakier, bigger, amateur bodybuilder? Nick Walker is not yet a pro bodybuilder, and I say yet because I think it's going to be only a matter of time before he gets that pro card. But look at this guy. How is he not pro? Look at this physique update. Look at his freaking arms, man. I've got arm envy. I'm jealous. This guy sets the bar pretty high for all other guys named Nick, myself included. Now, the final story that I have for you guys today, Brian Shaw addresses in a recent Q&A the long-awaited answer to the question, does he hate Hafthor Bjornsson? Now, this is a rumor that I had heard for a long time as well. I had heard that they didn't like each other, or at the very least that Brian didn't like Hafthor. So I wasn't surprised to hear this topic come up. But I'm not going to put words in Brian's mouth. I'm just going to play you guys his answer to that question right here.
Nick Best said during an interview with Big Laws that you and Thor do not like one another. I know you are a diplomat to the sport and won't speak ill of anyone, but how much truth is there to that? This is a question I've got a few different times, and I actually went and listened to that segment where Nick Best said that. And I was actually a little bit disappointed in Nick for saying that, and I am not exactly sure why he said that, but Maybe it's an opinion that Nick has. I'm certainly not going to sit here and say that Hafthor and I have not had some disagreements, and some heated disagreements at that. I mean, this literally dates back to 2012, where we had the power stairs in the World's Strongest Man final, and he didn't follow the rules about the order that you were supposed to do the power stairs in, although that was a terrible idea from the organizers. But it's something where we had a disagreement there, multiple other disagreements through the years, and I can comfortably say that Hafthor and I have had far more disagreements than Eddie and Hafthor have had. But it's something where I've tried to kind of walk away from those situations. Frustrated as I may have been, I tried to kind of let that anger, aggression, whatever, out at that moment. And then from there, it's something where I try to move on, because, at the end of the day, if you dwell on things like that, or, I think, as Nick said, hate. I think hate's a very strong word. And, it's not something where I walk around and say I hate Hafthor, because then if I'm having all that hate kind of in my heart, that's only bringing me down at the end of the day. So, it's something where I'm not going to say that Hafthor and I are best friends. As you guys saw, I actually did an interview with him on the channel here. So, if I hated him that much, I wouldn't have had him on my channel for sure. So, it's something where, I'm sure that Nick has probably heard some of those stories, or me talk about some of those stories, and that's maybe where, maybe where he got that from.
All right, so that's going to wrap it up for the video today, guys. I hope you did, in fact, enjoy it. Please give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe now. And as always, Nick Strength and Power, signing out.